Oh, Arsenal, 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 what are we going to do with you? So, there is no FIFA experiment today. Today we're going to be doing a rebuild. I was inspired to do this after watching Arsenal's absolutely awful performances against Manchester City and Brighton. I have to admit, as I'm recording this, they have just beaten Southampton, although beating Southampton away from home is probably the easiest fixture of the season, as Southampton have the worst home record in every aspect of the game. They've scored the least goals at home, they've conceded the most goals at home, they've won the least games at home, and they have lost the most games at home. So it's not exactly a hard game for Arsenal to win, so they shouldn't take too much pride out of that game. But either way, if you haven't seen a rebuild video before, don't worry, this one's going to be completely different anyway. Usually when people do rebuilds, they give themselves a budget of like £1 billion or £500 million, and they try and buy the best players they possibly can in FIFA 20 career mode. I'm not going to be doing that because I feel like you could do that with any team and still buy the best players. FIFA 20 doesn't do realistic transfers in that way. With enough money you could sign Ronaldo, Messi and Mbappe, all for West Ham, for example, so it's not the most realistic game in the world. So I'm going to be doing a realistic rebuild where I only buy players which I genuinely think Arsenal would be able to sign in real life. So it may get a bit controversial. A lot of Arsenal fans may disagree with me, may think they could sign better players than I've chosen, but this is just my genuine opinion on who I think they should be looking at signing, the sort of areas they need to improve for next season. So first off, let's look at their current squad and see which players I'll be keeping, which ones I'll be getting rid of, to get an idea of where I'll be strengthening the team. And this is the squad that they'll be taking into next season, if they don't sign anyone from this point. First up we have Leno, who I'm going to be keeping as their number one keeper. He's definitely proven himself, and if he has a defence in front of him that is capable of keeping players out, then he should thrive in this team. In regards to the other keepers, they're a bit younger, so Macy I'm going to be sending out on loan because I intend to bring another keeper in, and the same with Iliev, who is also going to be sent out on loan. Martinez, although he has proven to be capable of being a good keeper, I don't think he's good enough to be second choice. Kieran Tierney has lots of time to improve, he's still young. I think he'd be a great backup left back. Kolasinac has been hit and miss, he's a bit hot-headed. I'm not sure I'm going to be keeping him, so I'm going to place him on the transfer list. Again, we have another youngster here who I'll be sending out on loan. I don't think I need to say anything about this one. You're welcome, Arsenal fans. Socrates, although he's been good at times, I don't think he's good enough to be in this Arsenal team, so he will be added to the transfer list. Same with Mustafi, he has too many mistakes. How he won a World Cup, I do not know, so he will be transfer listed as well. Callum Chambers is a difficult one. He hasn't been that great, but he's very versatile, can play a lot of decisions, and he is English, so I'll probably keep him as a reserve defender, just to keep the number of English players in the squad a little bit higher. Saliba is out on loan at St Etienne this season, but next season he should be coming back into that team strongly, challenging for a starting place. Mavropanos again was out on loan, has looked promising. I'm going to be keeping him as a reserve defender. And Medley is highly sought after, he's a very talented young centre back, so I will be keeping him as backup as well. Another young talent here, going out on loan. Same with Ballard and Clark. Mari again has proven himself at times, although he's been plagued with injuries, but I will be keeping him as backup as well. Rob Holding, another one, looked strong against Southampton, so I think will definitely be a help. Hector Bellerin is a controversial one as well. He's looked a bit slow and lethargic this season, but he is still young. I reckon with the right manager he could fulfill his potential, so I'm going to be keeping him as the first choice right back. Cedric is actually still down as on loan here. I know Arsenal have made his loan deal permanent just recently, but on this version of career mode I'm going to be terminating that loan because I don't think he is good enough to be backup right back for Arsenal. Another youngster I'm going to be sending out on loan there. Maitland Niles. I think I'm going to be keeping him as a backup in this squad. Lucas Torreira, in my opinion, is Arsenal's best midfielder at the moment, which isn't saying a lot because I haven't got the greatest choice in the world, but I will be keeping him. El Neni, though, I will be putting onto the transfer list. He's just not good enough for this Arsenal team. Granit Xhaka, although he has looked good at times, he is so inconsistent and he does not perform in big games, so I will be placing him on the transfer list because he is too hot-headed at times. Now, another controversial one. A lot of Arsenal fans I know love Guendouzi, think he's the future of the club, but I personally do not rate him. I think he runs around like a headless chicken half the time. He doesn't keep his head, he's poorly disciplined, and he's got a huge amount of arrogance, and not in the good way. It is good to have a little bit of arrogance as a footballer, but not in the way that he presents himself, so I will be placing him on the transfer list. Next is Sheaf, another Arsenal youngster, place him out on loan. Saka has been a bright spark for Arsenal. He is a great young talent, exciting prospect for the future. He will be staying. Tormi, another one who's going to be going out on loan. Same with Olayinka. Willock will be staying to fight and try and progress in the squad. Another controversial one. Many Arsenal fans will be praying I get rid of Ozil, but I don't see Arsenal being able to sell him. Nobody's going to want him. And also, if you can get the best out of him, he is still one of the greatest passers of the ball in the game, so I will be leaving him as a backup, just because I think if the manager can get him to work hard, he can still be a great player for them. Emil Smith-Rowe is a great young talent for Arsenal, but I will be sending him out on loan because I don't think he's going to get enough opportunities. Nicolas Pepe, Arsenal's record transfer. I'm not going to sell him. I think he's got a lot of potential, he just needs the right management, so he will be staying. Mkhitaryan hasn't shown enough quality for Arsenal, so I'll be placing him out on the transfer list. Martinelli is a great young prospect again, needs to get more opportunities in this team, so he will definitely be staying. Same with Reece Nelson, has also looked really good at times, so he's going to be a backup in this squad also. Coyle, another youngster I'm going to be sending out on loan. Nketiah, same as Nelson, is going to be a backup in this squad, a great young talent. Now here's a tricky one, Alexander Lacazette. A lot of Arsenal fans think he is a Premier League standard striker, but I think he's had enough chances now. Isn't clinical enough in front of goal to be Arsenal's number 9, and as a result I will be placing him on the transfer list to try and find someone probably a bit younger and a bit more prolific in front of goal. Place another couple of Arsenal youngsters out on loan here. Aubameyang should be Arsenal's number 1 striker. It should be their main priority this summer, trying to convince him to stay and sign a new contract. He is what they need up front, because if he leaves, I do not see them being able to sign anyone half as good as him to get the 20 plus goals a season, so I think this is crucial for them to keep him. And lastly, John Jules, another youngster to be sent out on loan. So let's fast forward to the team that I have created at the end of the transfer window. So here is the team that I have created, and straight away I imagine a few of you will be looking through this list and thinking I've gone crazy, but don't worry, I will explain all of my decisions. As I mentioned a moment ago, we've got Aubameyang up front, leading the line, a proven goal scorer, needs to stay at the club to ensure success for this team. On the right wing we of course have Pepe, Arsenal's record signing, plenty of pace, good dribbling skill, will be a good asset for this team. On the left wing we have the danger man from Newcastle, Alan Saint-Maximin, has been one of the most creative and inventive players in the league this season. Okay, so he's not scored so many goals or created as many assists, but he has looked frightening and deadly every time he's had the ball, and at only 22 he is an exciting prospect for the future. Attacking midfield we have Martin Odegaard. He's still down the pecking order at Madrid and constantly being sent out on loan. Maybe next season he'll get his chance at Real Madrid, but if Arsenal can put in a good bid for him, I reckon the chance of regular first team football could persuade him to join, and he is a great attacking midfielder to have in this team. In central midfield, the creative position, we have Ruben Neves from Wolves. He is a great young player as well. May take a bit of persuading for him to join, as Wolves are getting more European football than Arsenal at the minute, but the chance to join one of the bigger clubs may prove vital. If he can't be persuaded though, perhaps a move for someone like Andre Gomez could be good as a backup. In defensive midfield we have Brozovic from Inter Milan. Again, might be difficult to persuade him to join, as he is technically at a better club at the moment, but the chance to play in the Premier League may be enough to convince him, and Arsenal historically is a big club, so it could be a good move for him. If anyone's seen him play, he is a rock in midfield for Inter. However, if we weren't able to sign him, my backup would have been Abdoulaye Doucouré from Watford, who has also been a standout performer for Watford this season, despite them not doing too well, and has proven himself in the Premier League last few seasons as well. But we're going for Brozovic in this instance. Ideally, we'd like someone like Casemiro, but I don't think he could be persuaded to leave Real Madrid to join Arsenal at this point. As I said before, Bellerin is going to be staying as the right back, purely because in the past he has proven that he can be one of the best right backs in the league. He just needs the right man management. At the centre-back position we have Bastoni from Inter Milan. If anyone's seen him play, he is an exciting prospect. Italy, of course, famous for producing world-class centre-backs, and he is just the next one on the production line. Quality player. We're not going by FIFA ratings here, purely going on how they are performing in real life, because FIFA ratings can be a little bit off sometimes. So he is going to be our first choice centre-back alongside David Alaba. This is a bit of a stretch that Arsenal would be able to sign him, but Bayern Munich have recently made it known that they plan to offload him this season, and so if he's looking for a club, maybe the prospect of playing in the Premier League for the first time would be good for him. He's still got plenty left in him. He's only 27, he's very pacey, he can play all across the back line. I've seen him play in defensive midfield sometimes as well, so he's very versatile and would be an amazing player to add to this squad. And his experience is crucial in helping the other young centre-backs develop, because we have got a lot of young centre-backs in this team, because I got rid of a lot of the more senior ones. At left-back we have Lucas Digne from Everton. He has been one of the best left-backs in the league this season. It has been amazing for Everton since they signed him, and there's rumours of him joining a big club at the end of the season, so maybe Arsenal might not be able to get their hands on him. However, if they don't, the backup I would probably choose would be Johnny from Wolves, who has also been very good for Wolves and is probably one of the most underrated left backs in the league. But we've gone with Digne, and he's going to be a great addition to the team. And of course we have kept Leno in goal. Backup striker is Moussa Dembele from Lyon. We all know Arsenal love a French striker, and Lacazette didn't really work out, but I do believe Dembele has the potential to be special. He will be a great addition, and if he can develop alongside Aubameyang, then he has the potential to overtake him as the #1 striker in the coming years. And Martinelli, another one who is going to be great in the future. So dynamic across the front line, can play pretty much any of the attacking positions, and will add a dynamic approach off of the bench. The addition of Buendia in this squad has probably raised a few of your eyebrows, considering he's only at Norwich, but if anyone has seen him play this season, he is the bright spark in the team. So creative, created so many chances for them, and at only 22 years of age, the future is bright for this young lad. He is going to be special, and it's only a matter of time before a bigger club picks him up. Put him in this team, he adds something a little bit different. If the starting lineup isn't working with Pepe on the right, Buendia can come on and he adds a completely different dynamic to the game, a different approach, and can impact the game there. Back at midfielder we have Tonali from Brescia. He is one of the most sought after players in the world at the moment, only 19 years of age, already 78 rated on FIFA. It's clear that he is highly rated, and considering he's at such a small club, the prospect of joining a bigger club while still maintaining a lot of first team opportunities will be very appealing for this young lad, and will be a very good backup to have in place of Brozovic in the more defensive role in the midfield. As I mentioned before, Tierney is going to be the backup left back. He's showing a lot of potential and is still young. And Saliba is our backup centre back, although he could probably rotate with Bastoni depending on what kind of defence you want to play. Now for probably the strangest decision I have made in regards to this team. It is so difficult to find a world-class goalkeeper that will want to play as a backup, especially when you're a team that is currently not in a European spot. But I do believe Angus Gunn is the best choice that Arsenal have. He's currently playing backup for Southampton behind McCarthy, but when he has played, he has looked more than capable of being a first choice keeper in the Premier League, if we're ignoring the 9-0 defeat, but that was mainly down to Southampton's defence. So I think he could be persuaded to join Arsenal as their backup, and he would definitely be capable hands for if Leno is injured. Backup for Neves, we have Ricky Puig from Barcelona, another exciting young player. He is happy at Barcelona as far as I'm aware, so it would be very hard to persuade him to join. But the chance to play regular first team football is surely an exciting prospect, and with the talent this kid has, he has the potential to be the next Cesc Fabregas in this team, in my opinion. At backup right back, we have another talented young English player, Max Aarons from Norwich, only 19 years of age, but still showing great potential in the Premier League. Arsenal really needed to sign a good backup right back as well to really push Bellerin to get his full potential, and I believe Aarons could be that person. Then of course we have Saka, great young player, so versatile, can play any position along the left hand side, although I do believe he is better in the attacking positions than he is defensively. That's just where I think he flourishes more in my opinion, so he's going to be a great asset to have in this squad. And then of course we have Pablo Mari, who is looking like a strong backup centre back to have in this team as well. Then we have the man himself, Mesut Ozil. He's going to be a backup in this squad, not the starting player, but if he can get back to his best, there's no reason why he can't be challenging Odegaard for the starting position in this team. Then we have Mavropanos, who is a great young defender and will be getting plenty of opportunities in this team to develop. And Torreira, who is a great squad player to have around as well, so well rounded in his playing style. Then we have a group of young English players. We have Nelson, we have Willock, we have Nketiah, and we have Maitland-Niles. All good young players who will be getting opportunities in this squad whilst not being thrown at the deep end to start every match. Then we have Holding and Chambers. I left these players in the squad just to have some more centre-back options, because that is the area which Arsenal tend to struggle. But in the future, if they're not happy with the amount of play time that they're getting, they will probably be offloaded anyway, but they're just here for now. And with Medley being kept in the squad also, I think he needs to be given more opportunities to develop more as a player. And then we have Martinez as our third choice goalkeeper. As I said before, I don't believe he is good enough to be a second choice, but he is still a good keeper to have around in the squad and maybe start the cup games perhaps. So that is why I've kept him in there. And then we just have a few young players which I wasn't able to loan out during this simulation in career mode. So that is the Arsenal team that I have created. Obviously I don't think this is a team that would win the league next year, but I do believe it is a team that would be a step in the right direction for this football club, and that is why I've chosen these players. Let me know what you think of it below in the comment section. Do you think I've got this completely wrong? What would you do differently? Let me know if you think I've made some good signings or whether it's a load of rubbish. Would love to know your opinions on this. Obviously for some of you this has just been some idiot rambling on for 20 minutes, but if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, do please let me know. Maybe your team's struggling as well and you'd like me to do a realistic rebuild of them too. But as always, thank you for watching, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.